Newly added series for CA Inter Financial Management. This is for investment decision chapters, and they are added 2 questions in illustration 1 question and practical problem 1 question. Now I'm going to explain for illustration, which is illustration number 19. Let's get started. The cash flow of the project C and D are reproduced below. Project C and D and cash flows for 0, 1, 2, 3 years, and in initial year it is an outflow of 10,000 and inflows 2,000, 4,000, 12,000, and for project D outflows 10,000 and inflows 10,000, 3,000, 3,000, and NPV at 10%. Project C is 4,139, project D is 3,823, and IRR is 26.5% and 37.6%. And the question is, they are asking why there is a conflict in ranking between the NPV and IRR. And second question is, why should you recommend project C in spite of lower internal rate of return? And they have given a percentage and a discounting factor. Let's get started with the problem. Just wrote down the given data. It is illustration 19 in page number 7.69. These are the given data. Let's get started with project C. They asked us why there is a conflict between NPV and IRR, and I'm writing the cash flow first. Let's calculate at all the discounting factor they are given and no discounting factor, and then they are given 10%, 15%, 30% and 40%. For year 0 there will be nothing, and for 2000 we just have to multiply with the discounting factor. For example, for 10%, for first year we have to multiply 2000 with 0.909. First of all, we write the outflow and for 0% same, and for 10% we have to multiply with the discounting factor. Which comes to 1000 into 0.909, 118.18. Let's complete percentage wise. Like this, do it for all the percentage. Later calculating discounted cash flows. Once again I'm explaining how to calculate it. First of all, you have to take the cash flow, for example 2000, and for example we are taking for 10%. For first year we have to multiply 2000 into 0.909. We will get 1818. So like that we have to calculate for all percentage, but in book they have not given for 14%. They are 10, 14, 15, 30, 40. They have not given, but we have to calculate for it also. So I have done it for 14% also. Calculate NPV for this. You have to minus the outflow and add the cash flow. The difference will be NPV. Let's calculate. 10,000 plus 2,000 plus 4,000 plus 2,000. We get 8,000 for no percentages. And let's calculate for all of these. Let's calculate NP for all the percentage. As the percentage of discounting factor increases, NP decreasing and become negative. So I'll just calculate the same for project D. Cash outflow is 10,000, inflow is 10,000 in first year, 3,000 in second year, 3,000 in third year. Let's calculate for 0%, 10%, 14%, 15%, 30%, 40%. Outflow will be same for all the cases, and as same we have to calculate discounting factor by multiplying PV factor of the certain percentage, so we get discounted cash flow. For 10,000 into 0%, it will be same here also, and for 10%, the discounting factor is 0.909. Cash flow is 10,000 into 10,000, we get 9090. Same we have to calculate for all of these. I just calculated the cash flows, and in this I forgot to put the decimal, just check out. And then we calculate the NPV for this project also. So 10,000 minus 10,000 plus 10,000 and plus 10,000 minus 10,000 plus 10,000 plus 3,000 plus 3,000, we get 6,000 for 0%. So that we have to calculate for all the percentages. Calculated NPV for project D also, and it got decreasing as the percentage of discounting factor increasing. Let's rank both of this project. It would be 1, 2, and then this will be 3, 14%, and 4 and 5, and then this is 6. For project D, the ranking is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. While calculating the ranking, we have to consider the cash flow also. When the cash flow is increasing for C project and cash inflow is increasing, the NPV is become negative. When the cash flow is decreasing in the sale, the NPV also decreasing, so it is not good. So we have to consider both the cases to ranking. There is a conflict between NPV and IRR for project D and C, both the projects, because the first reason is in project C the cash flow is increasing as the year passes, and for the project D the cash flow is decreasing. Because of this, there is a conflict between these two, and in the project D it becomes negative at the 40%, but in project C it becomes negative in 38%. So it's beneficial to go for project D in spite of project C. And IRR is also more compared to C for D, so choose project D. And the second question they asked us is, let's show you the question. Why should you recommend project C in spite of lower IRR? In this, which is lower, 10% is lower. In this 10% we calculate the IRR and recommend C, and we have to say the reason why should we recommend. Now we are calculating the incremental cash flow. This is C minus D. Okay, 10,000 minus 2,000, which is minus 8,000. And for second year we come to 1,000, third year 9,000. For first, second, third, 0 year there will be nothing. And discounting factor at 10% is 0.909, 0.8264, 0.7513. Let's calculate this. 7272, 1000 into 8264 will come to 9000 into 6761.7, and this is negative, this is positive. Hence the project C should be accepted when it is 10%. See you in the next video.